Live.
Fuck. I'm having trouble.
Then like us to start a show with technical difficulty. There it is.
Hello, people. Technical difficulties again.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Beauty Hunters Quarantine Power Hour, yet another installment as we remain in quarantine.
He's Guy. I'm Sean. Where's Curt?
I'm Curt.
There he is, the man with the credits next to his person.
Yes, welcome everyone. I guess we're just saying hi to everyone again and recapping our last show about artificial intelligence and some of the visuals tonight are a little bit about just kind of a little bit of recap of that, I guess, and just what you would do with that type of technology.
Yeah, for those of you that were with us last week, we had AI Pete joined us again. He was a virtual projection of our friend and collaborator, Pat, and Nacho Concern down there in Austin, Texas. And so he came to the show last week as his artificially ignorant self, his AI. And I think he'll be back this week. I think there'll be some interesting stuff going on this week, right, guys?
Who knows with them. I just thought that maybe we'd lead in with some of that, and thought we'd just do our regular meet and greet and talk about maybe some quarantine, inside with the Hollywood Outsider segment soon. And so, what do you got what's your report down there at the Harborview this week, or Sean?
I just saw something. Read an article today that companies that were very excited about having people work from home, so much so that they were going to start unloading some of their commercial properties, have now started to reconsider that position because people are lazy.
Reconsider the position of offloading the actual physical properties,
they really
or
feel like at first it was really successful to have all these people working from home. They were really achieving all the goals that they set for themselves, but apparently that's starting to fall apart.
You'll
have to bear
interesting experiment. How long does it take for the human nature to kick in?
Well, for me, it's like 30, 40 seconds. Oh, wait. Were you talking about something else?
No. Well,
I'm having some technical difficulties. You guys chat, and I'll figure this out.
You work that out there, Sean. So, Curt, you asked me what's going on at my work at the hospital, and I will give a brief report that much like the sensible, non-hyperbolic reporting that takes place in America at times, NPR would be a good example. Yes. Washington state cases are rising, and at Harborview we have seen a correlating increase in the amount of positive patients that are admitted to the hospital. It's not as bad as it was during the initial but definitely we trended down to virtually no cases, and as we've opened up again into phase 2, our cases have increased. So one could only say from a purely observatory point of view that we're on the increase. I will say that the business forces that be at hospitals in the area, we have to see patients. There's patients that need to have stuff done to them, and we're seeing them, and we're doing our best to mitigate transmission of the disease. But we'll see where we stand here in a while. It's a big experiment. I think that the sensible advice of wearing a face mask when you're in public and washing your hands regularly and trying to limit your social interactions as much as possible are all the things that will help us eventually move in a positive direction.
Science is real, people.
Science is real. Statistics are real. They can be manipulated, obviously.
Guy is real.
Well, it sounds like that's mainly on the whole point. Yep, it sounds like that's the whole West Coast. And speaking of the West Coast, again with us tonight, Jan O'Rourke, the Hollywood Outsider, inside with the Hollywood Outsider. So let's get Dan back tonight. Whoa, is that? Wait, hold on. I had something for you there.
Oh, geez, come on. What's with the timing?
Hold on, let's try that again.
Dan, come in, Dan.
Look, he's got a. We had it all set up, Curt. It was going to be magic.
Riffing on what I said.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready?
Ready.
So, why don't we bring Dan O'Rourke inside with the Hollywood Outsider?
Wow.
Dan, good
Hi,
to see
Dan.
you.
Hey, gang. Man, our technology is going off the charts here.
It's tight. It's tight.
Hey,
Oh, good.
riffing on what Guy was saying about the COVID numbers, I was going to be a smart ass, which many of you may be surprised by.
Well, that is weird.
About Hollywood, that we're back, but the numbers just aren't working out. So everything is going the opposite direction. Very few things are back. Movies just got pushed. They basically are saying, conceding that 2020 is done and new movies are not going to be in theaters. But the one guy, and you may think I'm obsessed with him, Tom Cruise, he's out there prepping for Mission 7, and he surprised some delightful fans in England by landing his chopper on a golf course and jumping out and pumping arms and running past them.
What?
Wow, man, I can't even believe it. He's so special.
So you understand that I don't just obsess on Tom Cruise. There are other people out there working.
But they're not nearly as obsessible.
Leah Remini, former Scientologist, has declared that she's going to expose the dark side of Tom Cruise in her anti-Scientology show, which is also back shooting.
Oh, God, so good.
So, a good for the Scientologists or not? Like good press, bad press? Where do you see this? Is it an uptick for the group or not? Or the religion or
Press.
whatever it is?
Yeah. So, you know, I can say with certainty there are two other people working currently in Hollywood. Morgan Freeman is voicing the voice of God somewhere on Earth right now because he's always done that. And James Cameron is somewhere prepping his next, whatever that movie is, his fantasy series. I think they're in New Zealand. But, I was thinking about AI Pete, and I really started worrying about the dangers of AI Pete. And Cameron is the perfect example because he's been secretly working on his own AI to go and kill off lesser versions of the Terminator since those crappy 3rd through 5th movies were made. So, just so you know, Cameron's working right now on that.
Oh, well.
You know what he should
Somebody's got to do it.
He should go back in time and kill off those other movies after Terminator 2.
Well, see, this is the question I have for you. Does he go back in time and kill the movies or just the writers?
Well, the writers is a good start.
If the writers are dead, then it never happens. It's one of those things. It's like, the thought is the genesis, right? So were the writer dead, then it doesn't happen.
Crappier and crappier writers keep getting the job, and it just keeps going in a circle, a time circle. But look, that's something we can think about in our evenings. But I just wanted to leave you with that. So we have a handful of people working for us.
Well, that's interesting. That's good. Like a lot of good insight, good recap.
Dan, I
from
have one
Dan.
question before we let you go in this particular segment, and that is, so Scientologists may or may not be COVID savvy. How do they skew as a population? Are Scientologists old or young?
I think that they are younger on average, but they do have a cross section of of members. I have heard, and I'm not, I've heard that they don't believe in COVID fully. I've also heard that they have taken quite a bit of PPP money, so they got some free money from the government for their own troubles. Don't believe in. I don't know whether they're anti-mask, and anti-vax, but I'll investigate that.
Thanks. Get back to us, because I know that they have this trick of looking young, like say Beck, but he's probably an at-risk population at this point.
Yeah, that's not a trick. That's called plastic surgery.
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty simple.
You don't say. What's going on down there in Hollywood, Dan?
I know.
I wanted to say one thing before we go into a little music. Is that we've been talking about? Wasn't that artificial version of Pat AIP just something? It blew my mind. Just think of what you could do and the implications of something like AIP.
Yeah, but those are decisions that should be left up to experts in their fields. Academics, professors, and futurists like Ray Kurzweil.
No doubt this technology will inevitably alter the course of history. No doubt.
No doubt.
Well, let's go into a little music on that note.
Let me rip something here and riff upon it, Sean.
I'm ready, bud. Right on.
Jamming.
Yeah, that sounded good.
Jamming until the break of the dinner bell.
Well, I'm not hungry yet, so I'm going to jam a little more.
I think there's some more jams available. That was nice. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. Happy to do it. I sure miss being in the same room.
I know, but look at us upholding the quarantine principle. And I will say, just a quick plug out there, future plug, pre-plug, and we have made a new record. We've made it in complete quarantine isolation. Sean was in the command center north. Curt was projecting, directing images from the Ballard bunker, and I've been stuck here in the hunting lodge the whole time. And but despite those restrictions, we were able to complete a whole new record, which will be coming out on Weird Beard sometime later this year. But this is a pre-plug. We'll give you more information on that as we roll along.
Very exciting.
You know,
limited edition.
Something happened here. I spill a Modelo on my keyboard.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Is that
I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
Is that why things look so weird there?
That looks weird. That looks troubling.
Yeah, I hope we can.
Oh, shit. What is that? I was going to say we were in a police video, but we're not in a police video.
Greetings, beauty hunters. Please insert password.
1 by sea, 2 by land.
Password incorrect. Right? Password incorrect. Would you like to reset password?
Reset password? What do you? We have a password? Oh, it's AIP'd everyone. Look. Oh my gosh.
Hey, beauty hunters. Hi, beauty hunters. Hello, beauty hunters.
EIP'd.
It's been 100.
We were just talking about you.
It's been 104,000 of your years since I saw you last.
Whoa.
I've got 7,992,843 cores. I can process all this. I found a cure for COVID and then I forgot about it.
So we have to input a
thankful
password.
that it's been that long because these bags under my eyes have been growing for 104,000 years, apparently.
Please reset password.
The red coats are coming.
Password has been reset.
That's a good one.
All right, our password's reset. What do you want to see?
You actually solved COVID?
Welcome, beauty hunters.
Pete, you solved COVID, but you forgot it? The solution?
Notification. Would you like to complete initial setup?
What setup is he talking about, you guys?
I'm technologically limited on this AI.
Well, Sean, you're better than I am at this stuff.
Well, I'm just
saying. This guy.
Sure what he wants to
I never believed in AI in the first place, and now I've been presented
Is this some
with
sort of
AI
musical thing, or is it a timing thing?
Yes, let's complete initial setup.
Not now, later. Remind me tomorrow. Don't ask again.
Well,
yes, set it up, AIP.
See, AI is very...
Well, it needs to learn. It needs to learn, and it's going to learn from us.
Artificial intelligence is a little bit annoying.
So would it be fair to say that he would have the combined intellect of the three of us when he finally gets fully programmed?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Is programming sequence initiated then?
That is going to be awesome because if we combine our intelligence in AI Pete, he's going to be about as smart as a Labrador.
He'd be amazing. Well, let's start programming him then. What would you like him to do? Like, what could this AI version? I mean, we were already talking about time travel earlier. Like, couldn't we send him back in time and change history somehow for the good?
I like this. I like the sound of that. Update the
Republic.
Republic.
Would inevitably alter the course of history if we were.
Well, yeah, you said that earlier. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, you know.
Well, What would we set? Would we just send him back to 1972 and have him solve the gas crisis?
No, further back, I think.
Oh, how about
maybe have him take the place of someone in history and
Shoeless Joe, 1917 World Series.
I still think that if we're going to change the history of America, we need to go further back than that.
But then, like, he wouldn't send someone as like corny as George Washington or something like that back.
What do you mean? Why not?
I mean, why would you send George Washington?
Let's bring him up here and see what he's created.
George Washington, time travel. AI Pete. George Washington, time travel. AI Pete.
No.
Uh-oh, what's going on here?
Complete. Historical interface initiated. Countdown override overridden during programming. Wait, historical interface countdown 30 seconds.
30 seconds? We only have 30 seconds. What are you talking about? What is going on interface? Here? I don't know.
Countdown override overridden during programming 20 seconds till interface.
We overrode the
during the programming. Override the
Mike, that's a cue.
Yes. That's what happened. 10 seconds till historical interface.
This is terrifying and somehow kind of
AI Pete, shut down.
10, 9,
Stop,
8,
stop.
7,
Stop.
6,
Finally.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Interface initiated.
Oh, shit. Now we're ooh. Oh, I like where we're going.
Mute music.
So is what's going to happen? Are we going to see George?
No, you're supposed to be playing music right now.
Oh, sorry. Let's play some music, Sean.
I'm on it.
Tron it up there, Sean.
Yeah, Tron it up.
Tron me hard.
What happened to AIP?
Okay. Where have we found ourselves?
Whoa. I had some seriously weird vibrations going on at my place. I'm not sure if you did, but
It's stressing
I think
Superman
something.
out.
I think AI Pat did something to the time-space continuum. I'm not sure what, but I don't think we should have messed with AI Pat.
You feel them?
What happened? Where did
okay?
he go? Is he still on board on the Zoom meeting?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Let me check gallery view.
I see Superman behind you,
He's
but
not there anymore. Where did he go? Huh. That was weird.
That was weird.
Huh.
That was actually very inspirational for the music, though. I got to hand it to AI Pete and his cohort. Oh, what?
There's AI Pete.
What the hell is
What deviltry has now beset me?
Oh no!
Bees!
What the?
What the
That's
hell
not
is
AI
that?
Pete.
Bees!
Who are you, sir? You look vaguely familiar.
Is that George Washington?
What am I seeing? What is this? What is this? Who are you?
We are the we, sir, are the beauty hunters. But more to the point, who are you and where are you from?
I'm George Washington. From somewhere in Virginia, largely. And who are you? Again.
We're the beauty hunters. We're a conceptual art synthesizer, noise,
Time travel,
artistic entity from the future, from 2020, the year 2020.
That's too much, man.
Do you understand any of those terms?
It's hard to sort out.
Let me explain a synthesizer to you really quick.
No. Couldn't do that in normal time. So what's up? I mean, evidently it's time travel, and I'll just roll with it.
You don't really seem that. You're like you just somehow come through time. I guess is that what's going?
You seem like the sort of person. You seem like the sort of person that can handle any sort of eventuality.
Well, it's been tough. I have run into things that were difficult, and trying to sort out who wants what and when, and I'm not sure, and I never looked for any of this. I was president. You will need to know that.
Yeah,
but you were. Yes, you were.
Did you really want to know that?
I was. Recently, I was president. I'm no longer president.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
who'd you give it?
I'm not entirely sure how I arrived at juncture in history.
Well, apparently you were the man. So, were you chosen for this role? Historical records seem to indicate that that's the case.
Yeah, that's a difficult situation. I did not seek this office. It was not considered gentlemanly. It was unfitting a gentleman to seek an office. I would rather not do it. I did my bit, I thought, in Valley Forge and crossing the Potomac, but more was required.
So tell me, in my limited knowledge of American history, George, who was it that pushed you the hardest into service as the president? Was it Jefferson? Was it Adams? Or was it Burr?
Burr. Well, that was a little later. That was the first go around was not entirely certain. It seems that no one is. What took place and presented me as into that situation. Something called the Electoral College was arrived at as a compromise, and since we just tried to get rid of a king, we did not want a king.
Amen, brother.
The Electoral College was formed as sort of a compromise between the people that wanted a strictly democratic situation, whereas arrived at by an ancient Greek sort of a guy. There were people that wanted the Congress that we formed to select the president, but that seemed a little too much like continuing the same situation. There were those who wanted a popular vote, where one, landowner had a vote, and each of them did, but there was a problem with the people in less populated states. They didn't feel they would have a voice. There were some
because they didn't know anything about it, or because
no, because yes, they didn't know. Well, I mean, they knew. I mean, they knew about it, and they were intelligent people, but there's really no communication, and it's really difficult to get information about different people across a 1,000-mile span up and down the East Coast. So, Congress, which we just sort of whipped up, could either pick somebody or everybody could vote. Some people didn't want the vote because there weren't enough people in their states. Some people wanted Congress to pick it. There was a compromise formed. It didn't ever really work. And that's what we wound up with, was essentially an electoral college, which were people that from each state who represented the people of each state.
George, can I ask a question? Do you think that given the way information moves through the United States, not just the United States, but the rest of the world, would it be fair to say that the electoral college has outused its purpose?
It never really had a valid purpose. It was always a compromise. It was the only good things I can see that could come from it was, in fact, that states with lower populations would have a sort of equal voice. But also what we were trying to achieve was suppressing cabals. I mean, I guess you could call them political parties where too much influence could be controlled by too few people.
George, are you lying? Are you lying?
George, so if I understand you, George, there were some people that didn't want to get tread on because they were little. The little people didn't want to get tread on by the big people.
I know nothing of these people. I know nothing of these people.
Can you tell a lie, George? Can you really?
Nobody ever stood on your tail.
There was something said at some point about something about a cherry tree. I don't know. I don't remember. A lot has happened.
You were a hemp farmer after all.
You've come, George. I don't know if you recognize the fact that you've come to the future, and now the relationship that you had with your father in the future is actually, like something that is open to a great deal of investigation. It forms the basis. It forms the basis of your whole adult social, psychological, and sociological life.
This has been yanked out from my time into evidently another time, and I was surrounded by bees. And the bees are
that was a
now.
Weird coincidence.
Which brings up mead, which brings me to this point that there's a
canned mead.
I'm assuming.
Are you drinking fermented honey?
No. Evidently, in this cylindrical vessel, there lies something much like what we made in my time. But all I'm saying is I approve. There's like I don't know. There's a lag time. There's a limbo between like evidently being translated from 1789 to I don't know what time this is.
It's the year 2020, George.
Holy shit!
Welcome, by the way.
Do you have any idea what television is?
No.
Oh.
I have some knowledge of Latin and some knowledge of Greek.
Did people used to back in your time? Did people used to act on stage? Was there like some sort of entertainment that was
very much so?
Oh,
very much so.
And
I approved.
You did not approve?
Oh, I do approve. I loved it.
You do approve. And so the question I want to ask you now is the current holder of your former office. His qualification for the role is he was one of those performers, but he never did the sort of stuff that you did, which was form a revolutionary army and defeat an occupying force. And I'm just wondering if you think that either thing is more valid to be the actual in charge of the country, stage performer or forming a revolutionary army.
I gotta say, I like the rebellion leader.
I kind of go with someone who is willing to put their life on the line for something they believe. And I also, it's a sort of a hard time for me to distinguish between what you people call the present and what I call the present. But in my present, elected office was never besought. The office selects the man. The man does not seek the offices.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy. I like it.
You guys, I spilt another Modelo on my keypad, and I'm having another glitch. I don't know what's going on. My video's
Jesus
all
Christ.
messed up.
How many of those Modelos do you drink in an evening?
I think I've got about 6 or 8.
I know nothing of this Modelo.
That's from sound check to now. We'll probably get another 4 or 5. Or
are you? I like your education you're giving George with your poster there, Curt.
But it is amazing that George Washington's here. I mean, who could have imagined that our AI would have? What?
Whoa!
Holy shit! Speaking of redcoats,
AI Pete,
Beauty hunters, beauty hunters.
No! Oh no! What? AI
what is going on?
What? Where are you?
Final programming sequence initiated.
What initiated? What initiated?
Okay, beauty hunters.
Where the hell are you, Pete?
Following your instructions, beauty hunters.
You traded places with George Washington, AI Pete?
Yes, beauty hunters. I am now collecting. I am collecting the duty from for the molasses.
You're collecting duty from molasses?
I am collecting the duty for the molasses. Correct. Correct, beauty hunters.
Did we program him for that?
I think. Well, I guess so.
We might have inadvertently done so. What
beauty hunters? Come on.
What part of America
away.
do you find yourself in? AI Pete, you have gone from deep within Puget Sound, inside Curt's stomach, to
that was Pat, guys. That was Pat.
That was Pat. That was. Yes.
I am AI Pete.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you are.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Different storyline.
First time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the hell are you now,
John? How did that pressing 4 work out for you? Did that help at all, or?
I mean, I continue to do it, AI Pete.
Okay. Continue to press 4.
You're fucking with the fucking pommies.
It's more of a placebo, I think, at this point.
No.
But I do like the advice.
Well, anyway, yeah. So, guys, I'm back here, like you told me to do, and
Well, we didn't really tell you to do it, Pat. AIP.
You programmed me. Beauty hunters.
Start this at Christmas.
AIP.
Okay, so we've inadvertently sent you back in time. Sorry about that. Is it safe where you are?
The molasses are very safe.
I like
no danger in the mole's ass.
How did you end up with that jacket? That's pretty good stuff.
Oh, I found it on a dead guy.
I'm
also taking care of those rebels, just like the beauty hunters asked me to. Rebels are going away as fast as I can collect taxes in the duty on the molasses. History's great. Look into it. This is true. This is all true, by the way. Just look it up.
100%
How did
true.
how did we inadvertently program you for this? I thought we were like the good guys.
Yeah, not the enemy.
We just think we're the good guys.
I think you did the overridden during programming, like around 10 seconds. I think
limit override.
You're right about that. That's in the script. You're right. Yeah, no.
I think that's what happened pretty much. Anyway,
well,
it's amazing. Great back here. It's pretty great.
So this molasses thing, you can make a lot of money on this molasses?
It is the most beneficial tax that the crown weighed upon the people of the new colonies. Molasses. More than tea. Way more than tea.
Don't you think there's going to be some pushback with the colonies at some point?
We'll drop the tax by 3 pence in 1772. It's also called duty free sometimes. Later on, they're like,
simple of an algorithm.
molasses that are duty free now. How do they do that? I guess CRISPR? I don't know. Beauty hunters.
Well, I'm not sure that we did the right thing tonight, you guys, in our show.
I don't know how to fix it though, Curt.
You don't?
No, I mean, what
I'm
do we do?
kind of interested in if AI Pete, are you happy back there?
Well, there's a lot less people typing on keyboards, you know.
Yeah.
That is probably true. Is George happy to be here? What happened to George?
Where's George?
Where is George?
Where's George?
I'm here. I'm back. I don't know. Look.
Yeah, George. So I'm back in time now, George, and you're where I came from.
Great.
I think somehow they swapped places somehow inadvertently.
George, if you could tell AI Pete, the artificially ignorant one, to do one thing, what would it be right now?
Here's smallpox.
You are smallpox.
Smallpox and malaria. They took more of my brave soldiers than fish, lead, or steel. One day we will end the scourge of smallpox and malaria.
Initiating smallpox distribution sequence. Hey, bros, shoot those guys. Get the rebels, get them.
Wow.
Pat, what are you doing? You're
you're
aligned with the redcoats.
Beauty hunters told me to.
You took it off a dead guy. It's all right. I forgive thee. Happy to see that there's a thriving hemp trade in your modern crazy world.
Oh yeah.
Like you mean in the future here, George?
Welcome to Washington State.
Yeah.
Named after you. Strangely enough.
Is there anything further you would like to pursue with this George Washington?
I think there's so many things that we would like to pursue, both back in revolutionary times and in modern times.
Whoa!
Those damn bees are all over.
But as normal, we just never have time to go into these subjects.
I feel like time travel has limited our time.
Time travel is a very interesting thing.
It has limited our time. And I think that
it actually shortens your show time a little bit, I think, if you compress it and all.
It's been 104,000 years since the last time I saw the Beauty Hunters.
So we haven't aged a second or improved one iota. But I don't know. Do we? You know what?
We're gonna have to solve this problem here. I mean, we can't. This could be the butterfly effect. We could change history in a way that
the duty's not going to collect itself, Curt. The duty from the molasses is not going to collect itself.
Well,
you got to duty something.
We have a mole ass over there now, so maybe we can do some modifications to the Constitution that will help us out.
Maybe AI Pete could be an instigator. We could use him as a inside man.
Yeah.
We could change legislation. We could change just the general mores of society, and maybe we'd end up in a different place in the future.
Oh, better place. We should explore this.
Put the mole.
I think we
mole
should.
asses.
Yeah, the ass of the mole.
We could well end up in the future in a place that we don't want to be. And I think that it might be time to round out this show in terms of a place in the future where we don't want to be. And an option to how we find ourselves there and where we want to be for Poetry Corner to make a little...
yes, please do more Poetry Corner.
AI Pete approved.
We can get back to the...
AI not good at poetry.
I love poetry.
George, thank you. AI Pete, thank you for those votes of confidence. And I think that we'll just move ahead with a little poetry. And in honor of the revolutionary situation we find ourselves in the present, in honor of the revolutionary situation that we find ourselves with AI Pete in, and with indeed George Washington here in the future, one of the great revolutionaries of all time.
Isn't it possible for Pat to AI Pete to fix this somehow at some later date?
I'm sure that on the next episode of this show, George Washington and AIP will come together in an attempt to solve the problems that we have in this world. And I'm going to leave everyone with ideas. And so,
Okay.
Poetry Corner, this episode is for the late 20th century poet and a Carlton
I have a toothache.
Ridenour. Carlton D. Ridenour, who is
Here you go, babe.
Where George Washington lived, and I will give you some of his work right now. Back.
Thank you, Guy. We are
You
having
think?
audio
Check
problems.
out this I bring. Are there audio problems?
Just
No, not at all. It sounds amazing.
Oh, the roll below the level, because I'm living low next to the bass. Come on, turn up the radio. They claim that I'm a criminal, but now I wonder how. Some people never know. The enemy could be their friend. Guardian. I am not a hooligan. I rock the party and I clear all madness. I am not a racist. Preach to you all, because some, they never had this. Number one, not born to run about the gun. I wasn't licensed to have one. The minute they see me, fear me. I'm the epitome, a public enemy. Used, abused, without clues. I refuse to blow a fuse. They even have it on the news. Don't believe the hype. Next week, we will return with our other revolutionaries for another installment of the Beauty Hunters Quarantine Power Hour. And there is more where that came from. I will refer everyone to check out the amazing writings of Carlton D. Ridenour, also known as Chuck D.
I love it.
Thank you, Guy. That was
Thank you,
amazing.
Guy. Yeah. Good stuff.
Well,
Okay.
that's it, everybody.
So
It's been
time is up.
Yeah,
Time's
I mean,
Beauty Hunters, play music. Do a quick riff.
thank you for everyone showing up.
Bye,
and
everyone.
watching
Thanks
tonight.
for watching the show.
Remember to vote, subscribe, and check out Solid Action on KKCR tonight. Radio
Yep,
Free
in 1
America.
And the sprouting of our new insurrection.
See you
is
in a few weeks.
6.